All right, it's been a while since I've done some good content. Let's start the show with a little bit of music here. Are we ready? Let's get that maxed. So, what we're looking at here, this is a reproduction. This is not even the box. This is not even kind of a box. This is Zelda the Hyrule Fantasy. This is not to be confused with the Milton Bradley Zelda. Now, because this might be a long video, I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to put a comment. I'm going to pin my comment. I'm going to put time stamps. I'm going to put timestamps in this video so that you can fast forward to all the favorite goodies in this so that you can, at any time you want, you can click to minute 3, minute 5, minute 7, whatever key points, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what happens. Maybe I'll get more views for this. Maybe I won't. But this is the English translation. I got this off one of the forums on Google. I won't tell you which one because I don't know how Nintendo's been taking down a lot of those scans with the high pixel scans. So this is done by Bandai. This was done in 1986 at the same time to coincide with the release of the original game. And what you're looking at is the an English this is a forged English translation. Family computer disk system, it says on the top right, just the top right corner here. Legend of Zelda game, Hyrule Fantasy. Zelda no, I'm not sure what fantasy is. Gameu. That's kanji for fantasy. I don't know what the fantasy word is. I'm sure I'll look it up later, but that's what I do. Complete the Triforce and rescue Princess Zelda from the clutches of the Demon King Ganon. 8 years to adult, 2 to 4 players. The mysteries of the legend will be dispelled. Will you be the hero of Hyrule? Now, I designed this to be 1 player, and I'm going to go over the steps and see how far we can get. I'm going to try to keep it under 30 minutes, I think, but I will put timestamps. And what you are seeing here is a low-level scan of the prologue. The prologue being that it is long, long ago, the world was embroiled in an era of chaos. Now, you cannot read any of that. I can barely read any of it. I have to use this book up here because there's a special 3D goggles built into that book. That one of the last books I got working at the library to kind of read it. So all you really need to know is that there are 2 Triforce pieces, one for wisdom, one for power. Ganon has the power one, and Zelda has the wisdom, but she's split into 8 pieces. This is the original plot to the original game. She confided her information to Impa. Impa was ambushed by Ganon, who was enraged, and then Link came to her rescue. Impa imparted, that's why she called Impa, information to Link as she helped the old lady back to her house or her cave, and Link set off on a journey to go to the castle. And of course, in tribute to the original game, you see that in Breath of the Wild. You see that where Link runs out of the cave where he's resurrected, and he looks out to the great beyond. So that's, that whole thing with Breath of the Wild is a tribute. And here we have this is all the characters. These are all the characters. So this is very much like, because there are no cinematics in the Zelda game, there wouldn't be, right? And there's very little in Zelda 2. In this game, you would see the cast of characters, and you would see all the enemies and what each enemy does. These are all the enemies in this game, in this board game, and just in place of cinematics. Now, it wouldn't be till like you get to Tecmo and Ninja Gaiden that you would get cinematics in 8-bit form. Now, what you're seeing in the title, I put TWIPI, the way I play it. So I modified this game to be a little more friendlier than, not more friendlier, just a little bit different than the original rules. So I'm aware of the original rules, but I've modified it to be more like the game because I played just about every game except for Skyward Sword. So we will take this away. So what you do is you look at this first, right? This is how you start the game. And then after you look at all the information from left to right or right to left, like in Japan, then we look at This is Hyrule. This is all of Hyrule. You get, look at this. This is the exact map, just like in the original game. I have a map like this, though it's not for the board game. It's just from the Tips and Tricks magazine. And you would have a little pull-out poster, and it would have just a map just this size. Now, I don't know the exact dimensions of the board game. I know it's not a large board from Bandai. That's of that $400 thing. And the figures, well, they're similar to the ones over there. And I had realized that my little Mario figures that I demonstrated before were actually part of another game that was similar, I think, to the Bandai one. My Bandai made the Super Mario Brothers board games in Japan. So I think I have those little figures, but not the board game. So, yeah, I still have those Mario figures. I don't have any Link figures, but I do have some substitutes. Oh, do I have some substitutes? So let's review the map. Now, the way this works is that you start right there. That start space, that's where you start. Now, there's different places where you cannot go because of the water. Now, you see this yellow here? You see this land that's all yellow? That's where you go. It's like a maze. So in this way, you can't go from, now, the board game will say you can, but you cannot go from, the only way you can get to level, I believe it's level 3 or level 5. It's one of the levels. It's one of these levels, right? So this is one of the higher levels. This might be level 5. So to get to level 5, you have to, you can only come in through from the right to here and then go up the ladder. You cannot go in any other way. So in this way, you can't just go up to Death Mountain. You have to get the ladder from a previous dungeon, cross this water, go up the ladder. With the Lost Woods, I have the maze. You can also try different maze challenges, but one of the maze challenges I'm using will be the Heroes of the Maze. So you have to do a little maze game to get from here to here, because there's a Lost Wood. This is the Lost Woods. Same thing with where is it? Oh, I know it's here somewhere. Here. This is another one that's also like a maze. So you have to be careful. Play a little maze game, and then you can get through here. And so, yeah, so this is like, so in this way, you can't just go anywhere you want. You have to have, so like here, this is level 4. You need a raft to get up there. You can't just go up to that space. And based on how many hearts you have, now the board game says 5 hearts, and if you get the blue ring, it's 7. I've changed that. You start with 3 hearts, just like the original game. 3 hearts. If you get the blue ring, you get 5. If you get the red ring, you get 7. But if you get the gold ring, which is in a special dungeon that I created, that's 9 hearts. You could get up to, so I'll go over the rest of these rules, but let's look at the figures you can use. Here we have Toon Link. I have shown this before. And right here, this is from the Heroes of the Maze. This is the hero, I can't tell his shields. It doesn't matter. I mean, he's suitable enough to be Link. Now, this is regular 3 hearts Link. Anytime you get a game over, or you, when you start out or you get a game over, you always start with 3 hearts. Now, there's different links in here. These are from Heroes of the Maze, but here is Link with the blue ring. That will get you 5 hearts. If you get a game over, you always start with 5 hearts, and you receive half damage. Or no, let me think. Half the damage. Yeah, half the damage, because I try to remember the original game. Yeah, the blue ring is half damage. The red ring is quarter damage, and I hope I can pull the damn figure out, because I'm getting frustrated right now. Okay, here's red Link. That he receives quarter damage. He receives half damage. And this is gold Link, which I kind of added to the game with a special 10th dungeon. That's including the Death Mountain dungeon. And this Link, you can roll a shield and you don't get any damage at all. You can cheat. You can kind of brute force your way without having to suffer any damage from most enemies. And that's about it. So, um, because and for Link, of course, you've seen red Link and blue Link, but there's no gold Link. There's a purple Link. So purple Link will be the ultimate Link that could suffer almost no damage from enemies. So you could start the game with two figures, like a Toon Link and an Adult Link at once, or one or the other. But I think because we haven't used this Link before, I've shown off this guy, so we're going to put him to the side, and we'll use this Adult Link, and he will be our guide through this game. And so I will put him here for now. I'm just going to go over the rules. I will not do a game demonstration yet tonight. So tonight we'll just be showing off the rules. This is the player board. Now, the most you're supposed to have in the original game is 7. I have modified that to 12. So you start off with 3, right? You get 3 hearts, and then there's 4 more. But then you have 8 dungeons, right? The original 8 dungeons, it comes out to 11. If you add the bonus dungeon, that's 12. And the bonus dungeons are in the dead ends. So you have to roll to find the dead ends. If you roll a blank, the dead end's a dead end, and there's a good chance you'll never find the bonus level in one game that you play. So that's a whole other thing. So let's take a look at the besides the hearts, you have levels 1 through 8 Triforce pieces, and these Triforce pieces have special items just like you would find in the dungeons. Level 9 or level 10, actually, or level bonus, you can either become Gold Link, or you get a special item that helps you defeat all enemies, like the light arrows in Wind Waker, where you just destroy all enemies. There's a catch to that, because I've added something. I've added a little maze over there, but we'll get to that later. Sword, you always start with a regular sword, a wooden sword. Then you could upgrade to a white sword, like the Master Sword, or a magical sword. Powered bracelet, letter, potion, food, magical shield, and blue ring. The last game I played, I got everything except the magical shield. So yeah, it's basically you can put your rubies here. This is your basic information, all your basic information. What you would see at the top screen of Zelda 86, or what you would see on the right column of Zelda 2. During the pause screen, the four pages in the Zelda 3D games. Whenever you press pause, you check your inventory. This is your basic inventory right here. This is it. This is all you need. There's 4 of these, but for right now, I'm making it a 2-player game because of the fact that the Toon Link and the Adult Link can upgrade their status to be like different color links. So I think that's more interesting for now. There is something to this. Oh, yes. Okay. So you have a limited amount of continues. This is the 12 die. 12 is the maximum hearts you get, right? But for now, we have 3 hearts. Now, you never get any more continues. There's not like Super Mario where you get 1-ups. So you will get more continues as you get more hearts when you complete a dungeon. In this way, you never get more than 12. And you will never get less than 3 continues for the whole game. So it's a maximum of 12 continues. No more, no more than 12, but no less than 3. Does that make sense? So that's how the game will end, and you don't see everything in the game. That presents a challenge, because if you could see everything in the game, then it's not much of a challenge. So in this way, you can get game overs, not too easily, but easy enough to where you can get them. What I have here are 2 20 die. One is red and one is black. If you can get a red and a black 20 die, great. So I'm going to turn them over. And here we have, let's see. This is this 9? Yeah. Anytime you have this is 9, you can kind of see the indentation here. And this is 3. So you have 3 bombs and 9 candles. When you get the red candle in one of the Triforce pieces, then you can get unlimited burning things. So you search the area for there's candle icons. Now they said that the little blue icons. Now here's some information. This is where you finally battle Ganon. Okay, and they tell you how to roll for stuff. But I have the way I play it is my own set of rules for that. This is the peddler. These are the items. So you could put items in here for what the old man, the old woman are selling. Here's the what things cost, right? And then there's Famicom information. Those can I actually use those for my version of the game. So the way I play it, I use all of these up. So you can search for caves, right? So you're searching for caves. So you're searching for these people with these icons right here. So to help buy things. There's money making games. There's the Moblin who'll give you money. The old man will take away your money. So stuff like that. So it's staying true to the original game because there was no Hyrule Castle. There were no towns. There were no Gorons or there were no advanced Zora beyond just the bare enemy or Koroks, the Rito, or the I can't remember. Oh, the Gerudo. Yeah, they're not there either. So this is just, you have to kind of do your little research about this great game. Okay, so this is part of a die. And if you had a blank die, you would put these as stickers. I decided the way I play it is going to be different. So here we have a 6 die. This is going to apply to, not going to apply to attacks. These apply to rations, loot you get from every enemy. So we'll go over the showdown cards in a bit, but these are the 1 through 6. Here's my revision. I revised it. The way I play it, revised. Okay, so this is the original 6 die. 1 are bombs, 2 are arrows, 3 are hearts, 4 are rubies, 5 are hearts, and 6 are bombs. So with this, if you don't want to take whatever enemy you get, you can roll a 6-sided die. Now, if you don't have the bow and arrow yet, which is I believe it's in one of the Triforce pieces, then you can you 2 would be a nothing. You wouldn't get anything. Everything else you get. The bombs you start off with, you can get more bombs. So in this way, you have a finite number of bombs. The candles are finite for the whole game, so you don't get. If you waste the candles, you waste the candle, and you can get the red candle in one of the dungeons. So one of the level dungeons. So that's for the 6 die. So this only applies to loot you get from enemies. Little details like the rubies here, they're in 50 or 100. And for arrows, you can have up to 12 arrows at a time. So that's how I'm keeping track of the inventory. Showdown cards. Now, these are very, very important. Every time. Now, I think I've explained it that Link moves. So let's say he moves 3 hearts. He has 3 hearts, you move 3 spaces. If you have 2 hearts, you move 2 spaces. If you have 1 heart, you move 1. And if you have 12, you can move 12 spaces, right? So every time you land on a space, you're required to stop at. So if you have 3 spaces, you land here, you can draw a card. Now, there's different kinds of cards. I'll go over these really quick. So some of these are like you're surrounded by enemies. If you don't have food, you lose 2 hearts. You have Octoroks. You have Whirlwind. You can warp to another place. There's the Red Moblin. There's a Lionel, Red Lionel. There's Lever, Tick-Kite. There's all these. Green Lionel. There's different levels. Higher levels, Zora. You'll need the magical shield to deflect him. Otherwise, if you don't have it, you don't have it. And you'll lose hearts. Old Man. Oh, yeah, this one. I like this one. This is the Falling Rocks. You get the Falling Rocks happening there. So there's that. P-Hat. Secret is in the dead end. You can go warp to the dead end. You touched an Armos. Okay. Genie. Obviously, if you mispronounce it, it sounds like an Italian slur, so that's probably why they call them pose. It's like Nintendo's like we don't want to get the Italians on our bad side, so we want to just kind of we'll call them pose, so they call them pose. It's a secret to everybody, so that's the money making game. This is the money making game. So I have a custom rules for this as well. So these are all the showdown cards, and you mix them up. And the way I do is I just put them face down and put this face up so you can identify that these are showdown cards. Um, I will go over the rest of the rules later, maybe tomorrow, and then start on this game and see where it goes. To be continued, I guess. But let me know what you think. I'll put the timestamps on, and then we'll go from there. And this is the way to play Zelda without nuclear power. That's how it works. I love it when you visit, and I love you even more when you come back.